What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video, we are going to take another updated look at Cardano. Now, I already actually did a Cardano update on a recent video that I made. And for those of you who don't know, usually if you watch till the end of my videos, you tend to be rewarded with a bonus trade. And that bonus trade was sniping Cardano at this level right here, and look at where it bounced immediately. That's about 10%. So congratulations for those of you who stick around to the end of my videos, but for those of you who are new, if you want to find out exactly if Cardano is going to keep dumping, is it going to keep pumping, or to figure out the exact levels that I'm going to be looking at for Cardano, you're going to want to watch till the end of this video. But right before I dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _theartofcrypto, you're going to want to do so. This is where I'm sharing the latest market updates, as well as for those of you who are interested in joining the private group, I only tend to open this up once every month for a very short amount of time and for a very limited amount of space. So for those of you who are interested in joining the monthly, make sure you keep an eye out for Sunday 10 AM EST 29th of August. So now that that's out of the way, let's get into Cardano. Right off the bat, Cardano, there is one thing that strikes out to me that is not very pretty. So if you just take a look at this level right here, notice how the low of this candle, again, this is on the daily chart right now. If you just take a look at the low of this candle, notice how it is lower than, the previous two candles like next to it. This is what you call a swing low. And at the moment, in order for uptrends to continue, you have to form, higher highs and higher lows. But at the moment, this swing low has already been broken, which means a couple of things, which means that we might be going into a bearish reversal, but that would be jumping to conclusions way too quickly. So let's try to figure out exactly what ADA is going to do by zooming into a lower time frame. So the reason why I always pay attention to when swing lows are getting broken is because just think about it this way, right? If you were, say, an institution and you were going long on ADA, maybe here, whatever, right? Imagine if you were going long with the hundreds of millions, maybe potentially billions of dollars that you are able to play with. Would you, in your right mind, allow the price to come down and stop you out, right? To fall below this position and stop you out, or maybe put your position into the red? Of course not, right? You're an institution. You can do whatever you want. The market is your oyster. So that is the significance when swing lows are broken. Basically, you want to keep seeing high highs and high lows without them getting broken, because that means that institutions might be starting to go short already. And the second sign that stands out to me that, potentially signals a bearish reversal is right now I'm on the 4 hourly right now, and that is the presence of order blocks. And as you can see over here, the last bullish candle before a massive move downwards, this is what you call a bearish order block. And order blocks, think of them as areas where institutions like to push the price to during whatever times. And at the moment, you see, after this dumps, look at where the price bounces back to, right? To the order block, and then bam, right? Over here, you have your another order block. Look at where the price comes to, right? Price comes up to here, bam. So usually, this is what you get when you break market structure. Then you're going to start getting bearish order block fills. And both of these are signs that it is currently in a bearish state. But the point right now that we're trying to figure out is this going to continue for long? Or is this, or is this bullish order block over here filled, and right now we are going to start pumping? So to figure that out, I'm actually going to draw this pattern, this trend line right here at just something like that, right? It's not the prettiest, but it gets the job done. So I'm going to draw a pattern like that and like that. So this pattern right here is what you call a falling wedge. And usually when I am trying to find bottoms for coins, I tend to look for this, right? Bullish consolidation patterns, right? Falling wedges tend to break upwards a lot of the time. These are called bullish consolidation patterns. And where do they consolidate towards? They consolidate towards an order block. So over here, right, this is our area of value. And look at where the price has came down to, right? And it bounced straight from this order block. Like seriously, the sooner that you can understand the power of like how to use order blocks, the sooner you're going to understand that, hey, markets are manipulated. And the sooner you start using an institutional perspective to trade, the more profitable you're going to be. So look, downwards consolidation into bullish order block. So right now we are going to want to mark down this level right here at 2.629. So the first trade entry that I would be taking if I was looking at Cardano, right? Because we know that news is coming up, and I do sincerely believe that Cardano has a very good shot at going to $5, potentially more. But you're going to want to pay attention to this level right here. And if you are looking to get into Cardano, this is going to be your first entry. You're going to want to buy the breakout of this level or a bullish retest. Now, the reason why I suggest buying the breakout or a bullish retest is because usually breakouts tend to, break out, right? It's supposed to go up. It's not supposed to come back down, back into the pattern, or maybe just go down, right? Hard. So by taking both of these entries, breakout and a bullish retest, you can literally just set your stop loss right below that level, and you would understand that if the price were to come back down into that level, you would get stopped out for a small loss, right? Because your trade has been invalidated. And as I always like to say, it's perfectly fine to be wrong, right? But it's not okay for any single mistake to wipe out your account. And seriously, some of the best traders in the world are wrong about half the time. So just understand that. So just to refine our order blocks just a tiny bit more, we are going to want to do it this way, right? But we will get into bearish scenarios later. For now, let's focus on the bullish, since that's what everyone likes to hear. So if you do buy the breakout of that level, then these are going to be your take profit targets that I'm going to mark out right now. And in order to figure out what are the higher targets that we want to be looking at, we are going to want to draw a fib, and let's see if the price actually respects this fib that we just drew. And you can see that if we do draw a fib from this swing high to this swing low right here, you can see that the price actually respects this fib quite a lot of times. And you know, at the end of the day, fibs are subjective, so we're just using them as guidelines and not as absolutes. And so I'm going to mark out some higher take profit targets for ADA, and it should ultimately put us up to about $5, so $4.50. So those are going to be the levels for ADA. I will give you a moment to screenshot that later, but for now, let us start to discuss the bearish scenario. And if you feel like you've learned a thing or two, or you find this video helpful, it would help me so much if you could just drop a like button. It's a small gesture, but it really means a lot to me. So let's figure out the bearish scenario. So immediately, right off the bat, I want you to draw your eyes to this just imbalance right here, right? Notice how when the price pumped all the way up here, basically there's pretty much no price action that happened in between these two levels. And this is not a very good sign, because usually I like to explain imbalances, right? You can see it in the VPVR as well, right? Look at the imbalance in volume at this level. And when it does come down to these levels, right, where there is price action, you get a lot of support. So the reason why I would like you to pay attention to imbalances is I always like to explain it this way. Assuming that, you know, you are ADA, right, at this point right now, would it be easier for you to pump, right, and go through all of these bearish order blocks, right? Look at all the volume that is above here, right? Or would it be easier for you to just dump and just literally just drop right through this area of imbalance, right? So think of it this way. Areas of imbalance tend to be the points of least resistance. And when it comes to imbalances, right, just take a look, right? You have imbalance here, right? Assuming nothing here has happened, you have imbalance here. And look at what the price does. Right, there's imbalance in this spot right here. Look at where the price comes into, right? Bam, you stop out the imbalance, right? You fill in the imbalance. So am I saying that ADA is going to dump all the way down here? That's not what I'm saying, right? That's nothing's a certainty. But in the event that you do get a break below this level right here, which I'm going to mark out, which is about 2.381, in the event that you get a break below that level, then expect ADA to go all the way back down to here, to potentially here. Yeah, actually those two levels are the primary ones that I'll be looking out for, right? So a break below 2.381 is going to bring ADA straight to here, right? Just look at how little resistance there is, right? It's gonna slip right through if it does fall back to that level. So just keep in mind, right, that level is going to be 2.381. And if ADA does get to 2.2 or 2.15, right, let's just treat this as 2.15, then I'm going to be looking to get into ADA at that level, because not only is that an order block that has not yet been filled, but look at the VPVR, right? Amazing support at that level. And for this trade right here, I'm going to go in on these two levels, and I'm going to set my stop loss at 2.04. So am I saying that the price is going to get here? No, but I'm giving you the scenarios right now. So similarly, you're going to set a limit order at these two levels. And if you were to get ADA at this point, if you had $1,000 to play with, I would go with $500 and $500 each. You know, it's called dollar cost averaging, and it's something that every trader that knows what they're doing is doing. So make sure you utilize that to your advantage. And so if you do get ADA at both of these levels, then all of these previous TP levels are actually valid as well. I'm just going to add one more. So now that we have the full picture of ADA, in fact, shall I give you guys one last scenario? Yeah, let's just give you guys one last scenario. So in the event that ADA gets stopped out, right? If this trade gets stopped out, then fully expect ADA to, you know, it's just a free fall, right? Just take a look at the VPVR, right? This is the only real area of support we have before an absolute free fall. And you can argue that, yeah, there is a lot of imbalance, right? Over here, it's already filled in, but over here, let's just draw out the next area of imbalance that I might be looking at, and just take a look at the VPVR. Empty. There's nothing going on at these levels, right? So I would hope for ADA not to dump fully, But in the event that it does start dumping, just be aware that there is not much support in these areas of imbalances, right? This has been a very clean move, which means that if it was to start dumping, there is not much resistance in its path, okay? So now that you have understood all the scenarios for ADA, I'm just going to give you guys a moment to mark down the take profit levels as well as the entries and everything, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm giving you guys the exact levels right now, and if you can't even be bothered to mark them down, then there is nothing more that I can do for you. So make sure you screenshot all of this and mark it down on your own chart. These are going to be the support and resistance lines, so-called, that I will be looking for ADA, right? So if you're looking at ADA, pay attention to these levels. So I've given you multiple trade entries, and if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you might have realized that, hey, you know, this guy seems to be right a lot, and my levels that I give tend to be pretty spot on. And if you just want to figure out how to do this, how you're able to do this for yourself, you're going to want to check out the private group. Over here, you're going to get access to everything that I've learned over the years. And not only that, you're going to learn how to figure out what works and filter out 90% of the things that don't work. And as a bonus, you're going to get access to profitable trading setups every single day. And we have people making money literally every single day. And there's been a lot of people who have already paid off their membership real quick. Not only that, you're going to get access to my sniper trades as well, where I'm calling exact areas to enter. All you have to do is set your limits, set your stop loss, set your TPs, and you forget about it. So if you're interested, make sure you join it. And remember, I do have a monthly sign up opening in 2 days time. So now that that's over with, let's get into your bonus trading setup for the day. So this trade that we are going to be looking at today is going to be AVAX, right? We all know how huge AVAX is. And the thing with AVAX is, it's the same thing with Cardano, right? You have so much imbalance in between. If you were to lose any of these levels, you're going to just fall straight down. So just be aware of that. So the trade entry for Cardano, AVAX, is going to be a limit order at 31.8, right? Treat this as 31.8 and 30.7. These two levels, you're going to get into it if you had $1,000 to play with. Similarly, you're going to get into it with 500 each. This is going to be your stop loss, and these are going to be your TPs at $35, $40, $46.4, $52, and $59. If this works out well, this should be a pretty easy 10 to 20%, maybe 30% or 50% trade. Now, this is a trade that I've called in my sniper trades as well. And if you just want to get more of these kinds of trades, then, you know, while I share a lot on my YouTube as well as my Twitter, I can't possibly provide all the, you know, just personalized help that, you know, you could expect. And if you join the group, that's what you get. But hey, feel free to stick to my free content. I do try to provide as much as possible to you guys. But anyways, with that said, may the gains be with you. I'ma see you in the Discord group, and peace, my friend.